serve my lovely listeners with the most interactive, informative, and educative show, the Morning Express Show. Journey with me as we talk about trending headlines, the top stories in the Catholic community, health tips, and some historical delicacies. It is Cecilia Nadede Ayi, your host for the Morning Express Show every Monday to Friday from 8 to 11 a.m. here on Radio Angelus. Do make a date.
4, 3, 2, 1.
It's not just one, nor two. It's four. 4 times the excitement, 4 times the power, 4 times the effect. It's the all-new World Youth Day Diary on Radio Angelus. This time, we came your way with a 4-tiered deal and 4 hosts to amaze you with various contents. Join us. This on every Thursday at 7 p.m. Join us every first Thursday to get up to date on World Youth Day activities. Second Thursdays for tried and tested tips on World Youth Day funding. Seize your travel buds as you join us every third Thursday on Travel Block. And hola! Every fourth Thursday, join us to learn Portuguese for Lisbon 2023. And if a month has 5 Thursdays, watch out for the wildcard episode. World Youth Day Diary, revitalized, revamped, and refreshed. Our land is good, our rice is fine.
Do you know that agriculture contributes immensely to Ghana's economy? Now, do you also know that agriculture is the keystone of the country's economic structure, accounting for more than 60% of the workforce? Now, that's interesting, right? Join Vincent Kwame Amejake and his team on the Farm Focus on Radio Angelus this and every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. for a dose of intellectual analysis on topical national issues confronting the agricultural sector of the country.
Our land is good, our land is good, our rice is fine, our rice is fine. Good quality, and very delicious. So come on now, let's join together, support our farm.
Our Father in heaven.
How do you start your morning? For me, I serve my lovely listeners with the most interactive, informative, and educative show, the Morning Express Show. Journey with me as we talk about trending headlines, the top stories in the Catholic community, health tips, and some historical delicacies. It is Cecilia Nadede Ayi, your host for the Morning Express Show every Monday to Friday from 8 to 11 a.m. here on Radio Angelus. Do make a date.
Radio Angelus, 24-hour online radio.
Another 6 o'clock is here. Wake up amidst the morning dear. Brand new day, it's a brand new slate. Like Barack say, yes I can. Don't let the worries of yesterday hold you down on this lovely day. Well, look up in the mirror and say, yes I can. Open your face, open your face. Natemwa way, natemwa way. Kani mukwala kabo. Magana marekena blow. Natemwa way, natemwa way. Open your face, open your face. Magana marekena blow. Kani mukwala kabo.
Just do it, just do it. Just do it, just do it. Just do it, time is ticking. Just do it, just do it. Tired of lying to yourself late. Don't you know you are your best bet? Who you waiting for, who you waiting for? You've got all you need more. They won't help when it's convenient. Tell you all
It's 18:19 p.m. A very good evening wherever you are joining us from.
What you got?
No one said it.
My name is Victoria Wa, and I'll be sitting in the big seat as the host today. Co-hosting with me today is
Joseph Oliver Bowers.
Thank you. Today on the Business Chat Show, we have a very interesting discussion with Mr. Charles Anto Bafo. He's the IT project manager for TASEC and communications team member with the ICT Institute of ICT Professionals Ghana. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll introduce our guest speaker for today. Please stay with us.
The worries of yesterday hold you down on this lovely day. Well, look up in the mirror and say, yes, I can. Open your face, open your face. Natengwa way, natengwa way. Kani mukwala kabo. Magana marekena blow. Natengwa way. Open your face, open your face. Magana marekena blow. Kani mukwala kabo.
Just do it, just do it. Just do it, just do it. Just do it, time is ticking. Just do it. Tired of lying to yourself late. Don't you know you are your best bet? Who you waiting for? Who you waiting for? You've got all you need, all you need.
Such importance. So, in the studio with us is Mr. Charles and Bafo, as you mentioned. Mr. Bafo, you're welcome to Radio Angeles.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you once again.
Okay, yeah. So, Vic,
Yes, please. Just to remind viewers and listeners that you can join the Business Chat Show via WhatsApp 055 1300 055 1300. Please send us your Facebook comments and we'll be right to respond. Mr. Bafo, very welcome to you again.
Thank you.
Please, do you mind educating us on technology deficits?
Okay, thank you, and thank you for our regular listeners at home. Institute of Technology, Institute of ICT,
Professional.
Ghana, Professionals Ghana. We normally call it IIPGH. That's our organization. Um, we have taken it upon ourselves to educate, and all that we do is educate, and also impart into society. So today we are here to talk on a key topic: technology deficits. When we say deficit in English language, we say it's a shortage, or there's a shortage of something, and why are we relating it to technology? We are relating it to technology because it's one of the driving force of every economy. Technology is the pillars now in 21st century.
Okay.
It's a driving force in almost every economy. And therefore, if you don't get it right, if you don't have the foundation, you can't compete. It's a race. We should accept it that it's a global race, and Ghana too, we are also competing. We are competing. Are we ready as a country? And if we are, how are we going about it? So, from the topic, we said we are looking at infrastructure. Do we have what it takes to learn, to compete globally? We are talking of top professionals in software engineers. We are talking of people with specialized knowledge in artificial intelligence, machine language, big data analytics. We are talking of global icons who are coming out with softwares, and it is cutting across all markets. Those are the people we are looking for. We are looking for the likes of Mark Zuckerberg's type in Ghana, somebody in Ghana who can come out with a software that at the end of the day, everybody in the world uses that app. That is what we are looking for. So how ready are we? Is our infrastructure helping us to compete? Do we have the people? Is our education helping us to compete globally? Those are some of the things we are looking at. So I'm reading from International Labor Organization report,
Okay.
and the first, with this specific emphasis on Ghana as a country.
Okay.
And we are looking at where are the gaps? Where are the gaps? There's a lot of gaps we need to fill in order to compete globally.
Okay.
As at now. So per my introduction, I will end it here. There's a gap. And as we go on, I will mention the gaps one after the other, and we see whether we are ready to compete. We want to go with the way that digitization is going on. Government has embraced the idea. Government is initiating a whole lot of projects to ensure that we are on track. But do we have the infrastructure? Do we have the people? Do we have the needed technological know-how, the knowledge? Do we have the skilled people teaching at the right places to ensure that the student has the needed knowledge to compete globally?
Okay. So I think he has alluded to the fact that there's a gap. So let's look at the issues one after the other. So let's take infrastructure.
Okay.
What are some of the gaps?
In the infrastructure
Yes.
sector.
For the infrastructure, we won't even go into the universities. Let's start from the let's start from the ICT. We are teaching our children in primary schools and JHS and SHS.
Okay.
Oh, my brother, you can attest to it that if you live outside Accra and you try driving outside Accra, you can be assured that most of the communities or the schools, they don't have computer labs.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't have, they even some places, network is even a challenge.
Yeah.
So we need, the telcos need to up their games by ensuring that the whole country is covered. The schools, the administrators and the headmasters, they need to ensure we are in 21st century. It's not always the hardcore books. We need to have computers. We need to have a good. Most of the schools even don't have ICT teachers.
Mr. Bafo, here there is a case the teachers are actually appealing to the government that they should come to their aid because they think they are well equipped to teach the students, but when they don't have the materials, they don't have the laptops, to give them the practical hands-on training. How then do we do this?
Yeah, so we need to, that is why I said there's infrastructure gap. We need to start from somewhere. I think government is doing its best, but the schools or the individuals, we also need to comprehend or try our possible best to support to meet them halfway. Some schools, if you have it in mind that you want to set up a computer lab for your school, you will surely do it. It's expensive. However, if you make provisions and even you start with one computer with maybe 10 students, gradually the time will come, the computers will increase, then you are halfway. But if you don't make any step, It will be so difficult. It seems only schools in Accra has and Kumasi and some big cities has computer labs, and I think we need to um, encourage and motivate teachers or the administrators of the school to factor in ICT. They need to have ICT budget every year and ensure that they allocate some budget for their ICT infrastructure needs. Government is doing it aside, but of course, when we always keep on depending on government, we know the story. So sometimes we also need to do something. Recently, in my community in somewhere central region, a young gentleman has set up a computer lab for his alma mater. He's now a lawyer in US, and he just went there to set up a computer lab, buying almost 30 computers for the community. These are some of the things we are talking of. If we say we are waiting for government to come and set up community ICT for the community, maybe the community has maybe 20 schools and none of them has a computer lab. How can they learn? How can they come out with a good programmers and people having passion to take this further? Do you know everything starts from beginning? Once you are introduced into it, then you build upon it when you go into. So it need to start from some. Government need to have a budget for schools, especially on their computer needs. The schools themselves need to ensure that they do something to also support themselves. We don't necessarily always need to depend or wait until something is done before we continue with it. So infrastructure gap from the primary school, there's a huge gap. Secondary school, there's a huge gap. Then we go to universities. Most of the faculties doing information technology, MIS, computer science, trust me, we are still there. You can see we have the labs. We have where I school, for instance, we have almost everything: labs, internet, everything, Wi-Fi, everything. However, there are some softwares. If you are building some application, you need to buy a software in order to integrate it. You need to buy certain templates in order to integrate it. And how many students can afford this? So you are doing a project, ICT-based project, as your final year project work or as your master's thesis or something, and there are some items you need to buy to integrate it to make your software work or your system, functional, and you can't. So you see what Germany has done. Let me read something from the International Labour Organization report on Germany. On Germany, this is the approach they use. They will not let you go from class 1 to university level before you say you are doing ICT. No. They age 10, 10 years, and you have passion to go to ICT, to dive into technology related courses or vocational or technical training or skills. There, right from there, so let me read something. In Germany, after 10 years of schooling, students can make a choice to enter into TVET stream or continue general upper secondary education. The main VET pathway is a dual vocational training program that combines part-time vocational schooling with practical work experience. So you don't need to, if you have it right from the onset that you want to be computer programmer, you don't need to go through
secondary school,
GSS, primary, secondary school, all that. Right from 18, and they see your passion, you need to take that vocational training and chant that path so that you can keep on building on your skill. By the time you get to age 20 or 15, you can develop a lot. I think we need to reorient our minds on technical and vocational education. If we really want to bridge the gap in this training, if we really want to compete globally, we need to look at how many technical schools do serious ICT courses there.
When you mention technical schools, you are looking at woodwork, metalwork, masonry, these like the traditional. But perhaps, and I'm hoping
you know, ICT is a skill acquisition.
yes,
It's a skill. ICT is a skill base. Yeah. So we go to technical schools to acquire skills.
yes,
To become a electrical, a plumber, or those things. So if ICT is a skill base, and we want people who can develop softwares, we want people who can develop websites, we want people who can develop ERP, enterprise resource planning applications that can serve the whole organization. These are courses that need to be introduced from that onset.
Yeah, not tertiary level.
And also remember, we are in 21st century.
Yeah.
This woodwork and those things is still they are good.
Yeah.
But the competition now is on ICT.
Yeah.
If you want to compete globally, then they need to introduce all these things in our technical schools, so that those who wish they want to embark on skill acquisition trainings, you don't disturb them with grammar and social sciences. There, no.
Yeah. Skills. I mean,
I know somebody who have done BSc information studies from University of Ghana, and now is currently doing CCNA, Cisco certified. Now is anymore diverting from the social side to pure technical something. Okay. And we kept on teaching him how to do routing, how to do switching, how to do all that, because he realized that he needed a skill in order to compete in 21st century.
That's very deep, and I hope is it the Council for Technical and Vocational Education, something TVET, well, they are listening to us and perhaps try to look. I don't know whether they've started that actually, but perhaps it's something that should be looked at.
Maybe we need to investigate
IT to be
they are doing
to be a course at the technical schools, and shouldn't be maybe BSc information
Another
technology.
gap
And all those
I
things.
would like to talk about is the female dominance in ICT. It seems they see the ICT as for males. The females are not participating at all.
But
they are still reading grammar and literature.
The situation
and
is quite better now compared to
maybe a few. Maybe they are doing more of computer science.
Make a head count of females who are into ICT.
No, maybe I think they are doing more of computer science than engineering. Well, or Mr. Baffo, what do you think?
I'm thinking that I want to see certain number of percentage of women or ladies engaging in ICT or participating in ICT courses. Trust me, if you go to most of the universities, the traditional universities we know, and you walk into computer science classroom or ICT classroom or MIS classroom, you will see 1, 2, 3 females, 1, 2, 3 females. Out of maybe 40 male, you will see maybe 4 or 5 of them among them. And I think it's not quite encouraging. You know, in Singapore, from this same International Labour Organization report, more females are in ICT in Singapore. The number is getting even equal to that of male counterparts.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have a long way to go if we really want to bridge the gap. This is the clear area we need to bridge the gap. We need to encourage females to participate. Some of them think coding is difficult. Website designing, you sit at the back of your computer for long hours. So those are difficult things, and therefore they need to leave it for males. No. In our 21st century, we need to do our possible best to encourage them to participate.
Mr. Baffo, what are some of the practical incentives we can introduce to motivate these ladies to enter into ICT?
Yeah, you see, IIPGH, we have a program coding.
Yeah.
And recently we embarking on a program called Coding Caravan. We went to Who. From there we went to Takrady. And when we go to a school, whether male or female, we encourage all of them. We are introducing them to, you see, the passion starts from the early stage. of their development. So right from this level, once you try to introduce them to, when they are thinking of getting into the SHS and they are looking at courses, they will not run away from science or ICT. Now ICT is a full course at secondary level. It's a elective course in secondary level. So we anticipate that more ladies will just go into it instead of always going to what's this ladies course called? General arts. More ladies like that course.
it's
Yeah,
true.
we want the paradigm shift there.
Yes,
They can
yes,
also
it's true.
venture into the sciences and
Yeah,
ICT.
yeah. Especially, I think when I was doing my masters and the those doing HR,
Okay.
I saw only a few male
Males.
there and a lot of female. I said, "What a class!" So I guess the narrative, as you say, should change. You have, I mean, more ladies coming to. But I've seen a few of the ladies. I think when we started the show, they came to the studio,
Yeah.
Christabel, and there was another lady at
Yeah,
Vodafone.
we
The
are
engineers.
trying our possible
Yeah,
best to encourage them.
yeah,
Yeah,
mm,
some of them are doing very well
yes,
in their various
mm,
corners, and we are
mm,
trying our possible
mm,
best to encourage them. Some of them want to even stop to go into secretary, and we
mm,
at certain point in time we still say, please learn coding. It's not difficult. You will know. I mean, somebody have done it, so you can also do it.
mm,
It's a matter of time. We
mm,
kept on encouraging and motivating more
mm.
ladies to go into that area. I think telecommunication, you can also get a few ladies who are doing
Into
very well.
okay,
We have our Minister of Communication, a woman.
yeah,
We have Vodafone CEO as a woman.
okay,
And we have a couple of ladies who are doing well in the tech ecosystem. And
okay.
we encourage more to go into it so that we bridge this gap.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. If you are just joining us, this is the Business Chat Show on Radio Angelus. Please join the chat. Please send us a message on WhatsApp via 055 1300. Please send us your comments on Facebook, Radio at Radio Angelus Ghana via on Facebook. So please, do you have any comments on Facebook yet?
No, on Facebook, not yet. But I have a question. So, um, you've mentioned, I think you mentioned a few of the ICT training challenges that we are there any more you think you'd want to share with us?
Okay, our training, there's still question mark in most of our trainings we are undertaking at the moment. Someone will advise you, oh, go to Kofi Annan ICT, go to IPMC,
Yeah,
or go to
NIT.
this NIT for
Cool.
IT training and co. They go, they've complete. They said they have diploma in ICT. Some of them said they have certificates in this, that. The question is, how many of them are practically oriented?
Hmm.
Yeah, because it seems like we should try to distinguish the training from academic or from academic for education. You
Okay.
go to university to read ICT or computer science, you'll be learning other things because it's a university. You
Hmm.
do African study, you do accounting, you do non-courses which are not courses which are not in line with your profession.
Hmm.
You are asked to do in order to. It's a university compulsory courses you need to
Hmm.
do, and the focus is more on theory, theoretical frameworks, research, and all that. That is university. Now, when you are going to this IPMC and those companies providing training,
Hmm.
then I'm expecting that at the end of the day, when you come out from there, you shouldn't be equal to somebody who also went and to university to do the same thing.
Hmm.
You should be practical
Hmm.
from those people. You
People.
should be able to involve more in coding, programming, and designing, more technical or practical oriented than somebody who had a whole academic program on that.
Okay. Okay.
But it seems nowadays they also offer diplomas and degrees and course. So we are not trying to even see their practicals. And when you
Okay.
give some of them opportunity to work with, you realize that they are doing almost the same
Theory.
theory thing.
The universities are
Yeah.
okay. Okay. And this brings in mind when I was doing my undergrad and we're doing C plus plus and we're doing
Mr. Boys, you have a lot of stories.
I'm telling you, C plus plus on the whiteboard. Can you imagine?
Oh,
I'm
that's what you used to do.
I mean, I never liked the class because it was so confusing. Up till now, I'm not really a friend of IT, but since I started engaging IIPGH, I feel ashamed. I don't have any IT background. But what he's saying is very true. I mean, apart from, as you said, people who go through this proper IT training, not the classroom type, are not able to do some of these things. And then as I said, we may have to look at that. So, what are some of the government initiatives that can help mitigate this challenge?
Okay, I may not have full knowledge
Okay.
on government initiatives. However, I know government are putting one or two initiatives just to break the gap.
Mm.
You know, IIPGA started coding for girls,
Yeah.
and government too has a program like that for Ministry of Communication.
Oh, okay.
They have women in ICT, coding for girls, coding programs, and all
Mm,
of that.
mm,
All these programs are uh, helping to bridge the gap.
okay.
Now, cybersecurity. Just last month,
Celebrated.
we embark on a stakeholder discussion on professionals and service providers on the data security, cybersecurity laws and acts. And you see the passion. You can see the passion. Government is trying its possible best from that angle to get more people educated about the law and all that. So you can see a couple of initiatives from the various department ministries trying
Okay.
to comprehend the training or trying to help us to bridge the gap.
Okay.
However, I'm of the view that the private sector
Okay.
need to participate more
Okay.
into that.
So how can yeah.
We have companies like Ranker Solution, which are co-owned by ITEL or whatever. Um, these are international organizations, and I think the more they get more people on board, the more people get the needed skills and knowledge, tap it from them. When you look at companies like M Pedigree, they also came out with a software to validate pharmaceutical. Some of them are doing things that at the end of the day, we are gradually bridging the gap. But
Okay.
the speed at which we are going
It's quite slow.
is quite slow. That's some of us are. Then you have Impact Hub Ghana. It's also an incubator for startup.
Mm.
You know, these are companies, they are trying to help startup like a product or a university product or graduates who completed computer science or IT, and he wanted to set up his own company, and maybe he has a particular skill, software engineering skill, and he has come out with a software, and he want to market the software on a Ghanaian market. These setup companies try to bring all of them on board and
Okay.
try to see how they can help them so that they can get the needed markets they need for their products or services. Then we have MUST, MEST. I think their office is around East Legon.
Oh,
They
okay.
are Mawata Entrepreneurial School of Technology, and they are also trying their best to educate more young guys, especially techs, those who want to go into their own setup. You know, recently there was this argument here that we all need to go into entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I hope you remember that
Yeah.
argument. Yeah. I think I think it's a good call. Yeah, because if the tech guys, you go and learn computer science and you have come out with a product that solves a problem in a society, trust me, people will patronize your product. but maybe not on the global level, but at least you can start from your small corner. When you get your name, then so we need to encourage more people on that side of entrepreneurship. You learn the skill or the knowledge, don't sit on it. Use it to build an application. Mark Zuckerberg built his Facebook, and now it's globally known. It was in a small corner somewhere, isn't it? So if I'm also in a small corner somewhere here, and I go to university, graduate, come out with a software, and I'm able to convince 10 people to buy that, or 10 organization or company or SMEs to buy those software. Gradually, a time will come, my market share will increase to 20. And yeah, so the entrepreneurs thing, we don't need to just some people, they have the skills, they can do a lot of things, but they are searching for a job, and a company will just place them somewhere, and they will be doing one thing for 10 years, 20 years. All the skills they learn doesn't go anywhere. And that is with this strategy, we can bridge the gap. So let's try our possible best to use what we learn at school, come out with something. Initially, it's going to be difficult, but try. And as you kept on moving on, time will come globally or within the Africa sector. Some will also recognize you, and gradually you go. There you go.
I have a question on WhatsApp
Okay.
from an anonymous sender.
Okay.
He says, thinking out loud. But to make STEM related courses attractive for ladies, is it feasible to give them an allowance?
Hey, allowance before you go and learn ICT.
You know, these training colleges, they give them allowance. So probably they are also thinking, why don't we establish a college for, ICT and actually pay ladies who go to these ICT training schools?
I don't know whether the sender was, I mean, has been in the Nkrumah era, because those days they were paying people to go and learn, I think, sorry, to go and learn math related subjects, and like those who even went to see regional maritime, they were paying them to go to see.
We call it STI, Science, Technology, and Innovation courses.
Okay. So maybe a person wants that to be done, but what do you think about it?
Is it feasible?
I'm of the view that some of the telcos, the internet service providers, and the telcos, they are doing very well by coming out with scholarship schemes for females who are into ICT. Sometimes they do publish for females to apply. And some of the application is restricted only for females. Some of the scholarships are also open for females only, who want to go into STI, science, technology, and innovation careers or professionals profession. So basically, it's something that they need to do. Anything we need to do to encourage them to go into science and technology and ICT, we need to do. However, don't say we need to give you something before you learn. Because when you learn and you acquire the knowledge, you are not just going to use to help your family, you are going to use it to help the nation at large.
Maybe that's why the person is requesting for allowance. Anyway, so I also have a comment from Facebook from Paul Glover. Paul A. Glover. He says, you guys are doing great. Keep it up. And he has a question for us. Now, he says that, what are the possible ways to stay away from hackers? They are using IT to fraud civilians. I think, though, it's not quite related to the topic, but we've dealt with it before. But I don't know, since he's just asked, and you just want to chip something with it.
When we attended the seminar on the cybersecurity law, I'm a cybersecurity professional as well. One of the things that pop up is that the one of the guests said he was at University of Cape Coast for a program, and after the program, he asked how many of you want to be a cybersecurity professionals, and he talked to almost more than 500 students in a big hall. And those who are interested, when we close this program, when the program is over, come and see me. And only 4 people walked to him. And he was shocked that a big audience like this, only four of you are interested in cybersecurity, or you want to become cybersecurity professionals, or you want to be certified in cybersecurity certifications. Why? And some of them were saying that, you see, when you have the skills, you can use it to fraud and you get more money than when you have the skills and you want to prevent somebody from using it to hack on an organization. What am I trying to say? Some people are so much, they want the shortcuts, they want quick money, they prefer doing the fraud, they don't want to learn the skills to stop or prevent or assist organizations to prevent these hackers. Millions of organizations are losing huge sum of money every month on this cyber fraud and criminals and hackers. And as such, they are employing um, experts in cybersecurity areas to help the organization secure its assets. You see, the network infrastructure or the network security is key to most of the organizations. However, more people are not ready to go into it to prevent. Some of them have the skills, they want to utilize it.
Okay.
I want to, like, let's say, uh, Radio Angelos, your website.
Yeah.
I want to hack into it. Tells you that whoever is managing your website able to break into your website or your system. So your system is not secure. Whoever is managing your infrastructure didn't do something well. The whole setup is there's
But
question
I
mark.
can do it for you.
So I can do it for you, and I will leave my number if you want me to come and do for you. So people want to achieve something out of I mean, instead of they being employed and trying to find various ways to prevent people from hacking, they want to use the skill to exploit people rather. And this is what we are trying to prevent. The cybersecurity law is in place, and if you find yourself in those activities and the law catch on you, or I mean, you are not going to. I mean, they are
Have
not
it
going to
easy.
spare you. So we need to use the skills to help.
Appropriately.
Yeah, use it wisely. Yeah, instead of using it to gain or exploit somebody.
And we are actually excited on that. Just as part of your final words, maybe somebody just tuned in and is watching us or listening to us.
My key thing is technology trend. Technology will keep on evolving. We are in a digital economy. We need to understand that and embrace it. We need more people to be trained in these areas. We need more education in these areas. We need more technical know-how and skills in these areas. We need to encourage more people to go into this and do it well. So in order to compete, we have also and we also understand that there's a huge gap. There's a huge gap when you compare Canada or US or Germany or those countries to us, or even within Africa. When you take certain countries, some of them are far ahead when it comes to their ICT infrastructures. And trust me, like I gave you a classical example, that when you drive out of Accra, you'll be shocked the state of ICT in some communities and schools. You'll be shocked of it. So we all need to do our possible best to bridge the gap. My last but not the least is females. We encourage our sisters to go into it. It's not difficult. People have done it, and we need to go into that as well, and we will make it. There, a lot of people are making it in tech. A lot of females are making it. We shouldn't let the humanities courses and general art and those things take away. Yeah, we should go into that. Also, I want to talk about the startups. When you finish university and you have the skills, you can program, you know, you can develop websites, you can do a lot of things with your hand, your skills. Please don't sit on it. Don't think you are waiting for white collar job somewhere for somebody to employ you and give you one thing to be doing every day. No. For the rest of your years, no. Use your skills. use your skills. It's difficult to start a company, but make a move, and gradually you'll get there.
All right. Thank you so much for this advice. Please, if you are listening to us, please endeavor to use your skills. Okay, so this has been the business chat show on Radio Angelus. We are talking about technology deficits regarding infrastructure, education, and people. Mr. Bafo, thank you so much for joining us for this show. And a very big thank you to the Institute of ICT Professionals Ghana. They have always called,
Yeah.
I don't know, they've always been of
Giving
help
us,
for us, the
yes, the
support and
resource,
everything.
the
A
resource
very big
persons,
thank you
and
for
discussing
exactly.
these topics. I mean, I have learned a lot. I believe listeners and viewers have also learned a lot, and this will continue. And next year, I'm looking.
Okay.
Yes, though we are 2 months away. So, as she said, we are very grateful to the all the executives and the head of the communication team, Sheriff. He's always on us, asking when you guys are coming on. So we are grateful, Sheriff, and keep up the good work. And we believe that together we'll contribute towards the gap that you have highlighted through this, which I think is also part of their education.
Okay.
All right.
So this is where we end the discussion. A very good evening to you and see you next week.
And thanks to our producer, Jean Luc.
Yes, please.
All
Thank you
right.
so much. Bye bye.
Bye.
Another 6 o'clock is here. Wake up and meet the morning dear. Brand new day, it's a brand new slate. Like Barack say, yes I can. Don't let the worries of yesterday hold you down on this lovely day. Well, look up in the mirror and say, yes I can. Open your face, open your face. Natengwa way, natengwa way. Kani mukwala kapo. Magana marekena blow. Natengwa way. Open your face, open your face. Magana marekena blow. Kani mukwala kapo.
Just do it, just do it. Just do it, just do it. Just do it, time is ticking. Just do it. Tired of lying to yourself yet. Don't you know you are your best bet? Who you waiting for? Who you waiting for? You've got all you need more. They won't help when it's convenient. Tell you all of this is for experience. She put on your body.